Hi guys, Northwoods Stitchers here. Taking some time out from snow management because we got quite a bit of snow yesterday, and this morning it seems to have calmed down, so I'm a little sweaty. But I wanted to take some time to give you some more tips and things that I find useful, that maybe you might find useful. This time of year particularly, my hands get cold when I'm stitching in the winter, usually around 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And I don't want to wear gloves when I'm stitching. So I wear fingerless gloves, and any fingerless gloves will do. I really like these fleece ones called Wristies. I don't know, they've been around for a while. Wristies.com, Wristies, Wristies. They have all kinds of colors. They have patterns. I get a small because I like them to be a little snug. That's the type of almost compression-like feeling on my hand. And I really love the different patterns. This one's got snowflakes. You can get different lengths if you want a longer one. I prefer the shorter ones. And I have to confess, I think I probably have 12 pairs. They're everywhere. They're in the car. And I get other types. You know, I got some with some birds on them. And for whatever reason, the company sent me 2 different birds, which is a little upsetting, but I still like them. They're knitted and they're very nice for driving. But that's one way to keep my hands warm, and that's usually the bell in my head said, oh, time for a cup of tea or something to warm up a bit. Also, in the winter when I'm stitching, I find it difficult sometimes to see something, especially if I'm doing something on a black fabric. I always tell people, do that in the summer when there's better light. But you can get LED rechargeable headlamps. I stole my husband's. I think it's great. You can tip it to wherever you need to have it angled towards. And it's got different settings. I think that's off. I don't want to blind you guys. It's very stylish. All the rage right now in Paris. I think those are great. And you can adjust them so you don't feel like it's cutting the circulation off on your head or anything. The other thing I like to use is a neck lamp or a neck noodle. I call this my noodle. I had to buy the case separately. These are rechargeable as well, and adjustable. It's got a tiny little piece of felt on the back for your comfort. It's not very heavy. Some people can't stand to have any kind of weight on their neck. But I don't find this really heavy at all. You just angle it however you want. You can turn on one or both, and there's several different brightnesses, and you can position them all kinds of ways. And this one's actually probably better if you're stitching next to somebody, because if you're wearing the headlamp, you're going to turn and blind them. So this one's probably a little nicer to do. It's got 3 different brightnesses on this one. These you can get for under $20. I can't remember how much I paid for the case, but I finally got the case because I did find I was traveling with this. Oops, I left it on. And it's better to travel with the charging cord and have it all in one place. I just dropped the charging cord on the floor. So neck light is the way to search for that. A lot of different places have them. I think this one came from, is it a bookstore? No, it was Amazon, I think, that I got on Amazon. The other idea is a light board. I know you can get some light boards at different fabric stores or needlepoint, but they have a cushion on the bottom. They're kind of pricey. You can get a light board for tracing for under $20 or $30. It's very flat and thin. I think I have one out charging. Again, it's LED, so it's fully rechargeable. I don't know if this one has enough juice in it to show you how well it works, but it's very thin, very light. If you don't need a light, sometimes just putting a white sheet on your lap when you're stitching on a dark blue or a black fabric. Sometimes the white on your lap helps you see the holes a little better. I find that these light boards are really handy though. I'll just set it on my lap. Sometimes I'll put it on a pillow because it's meant to be just a tracing board. It's not meant to be on your lap per se. Yeah, it's not juiced. But it's got a little button on the side, and I just plug it into my USB, leave it around the craft room to charge up. This one hasn't been charged for a while, so I thought I'd get it out. I haven't found any proper storage for it. It's not like I found any hard cases to put that in, but it's fine in one of my drawers. I have a couple of dressers up here in the craft room. The craft room, I will do a tour at some point. I've got lots of different corners and nooks, so stay tuned for that. If I get a little more organized, I'll feel more comfortable doing that, but right now it's like a horror movie. So I will do something. It is above my 3-car garage here, so I have lots of space, lots of attic nooks, secret hidey holes, pull-out shelves under the eaves. It's a fun space. Another problem I had over the years is figuring out the size of the needle that I actually have in my hand. I can't find a way to sort my needles properly unless you're keeping them right back in the container that they come in, the little package. But I did find some colored needles. These are brilliant. So now you know exactly what size you're stitching with. I found these at theneedlelady.com. She sells all kinds of needles. These are ponies, P-O-N-Y, and it's just pony tapestry needles. I think you can find them probably on 1-2-3 Stitch. You can find them on Amazon. These are size 24, 26, and 28. I don't really adhere by any rules with stitching with a certain size needle. Stitch with what you're comfortable with. As long as it's not marring your fabric, making the holes much bigger. You know, if you're using an oversized needle for a small hole, you're gonna widen that hole a bit too much when you're stitching with a bigger needle. So it's what your comfort level is and what the fabric is agreeing to. That's how I stitch. I think I have a couple of packs of these. I can see there's a blue one missing right now, which is a 26. But I like that this has 3 different sizes. That's kind of handy. These usually live downstairs next to my stitching chair. Oh, also, for a lot of finishes, they end up in a pile. But I've been saving the tubes that I buy different fabrics in, because it's great to roll up something that you finish stitching and just reuse the tube to store it. It's great because you can label the end of it, label the side of it, say, oh, this is the one I stitched, blah, 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 I need to frame it, or write down where the frame is. Those are handy. I do sandwich mine in between cardboard or other, it's not good to do cardboard, but I have a big piece of cardboard that I protect them in because I've got paint and other things going on up here. Or I find some poster tubes. This one I haven't used much, but it's got a opening in it, I guess, for things to breathe. This is from the USA. It's called a viewtainer. I call it a poster storage for a small poster. These are really great too because I can fit a lot of projects in them. And I have a full one somewhere. All the more reason to get myself finishing off some of my completed works. That's handy for storage of done stitches. I should probably show you some more wanna-dos too, and floss storage. Tomorrow I'm gonna get ready to go to my only local needlework shop, Lakeside Stitches. I'm gonna ask permission to film some of her shop and ask her if she's got a website up yet, because you guys would love, 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 love this place. So stay tuned for that. I'll get a couple of shots of maybe just some video or photos. I don't know what she's comfortable with, and see what she got at the Nashville market. It was bounces around a lot on the table today, I've noticed. Sorry for the earthquake. I have some wanna-dos here. I do buy kits. I have a Mill Hill kit collection, but this is my petites, my gold collection petites. I store them in a little basket. I told myself a couple years ago, I'm going to do one a month, which has not happened. But now that it's completely full, I have no other room for another stitch in here, another kit. I do look at them periodically to get motivated. You can see how old some of them are. Look at the yellowing on the plastic. I don't know what year those are. Keep your stuff out of sunlight. That's all I can say to people. This is 2004, so that's a pretty old one. It was probably in a store that was too close to a window. Another one from 2002 that's yellow. Another one from 1997 that's yellow. Look at that sweet thing. Half the battle is separating the floss on these kits. Well, I've got a couple of precious gold collections that I really can't wait to do. And this one has a lot of French knots. I don't know if you guys know this trick or not. If you don't like French knots or you're just not in the mood, use a bead. A girlfriend taught me that years ago. Shout out to Sophia. And I think it's genius. And you can use any kind of bead that you like. Seed beads, or you could use Mill Hill beads. Those are really good. Mill Hill has petite seed beads and seed beads. The petite seed beads are teeny tiny, but you can get those at different fabric stores, like even some of the quilting shops carry Mill Hill. You can get them online. Mill Hill is a Japanese glass bead. They're very nice, uniform throughout size. Very rare that you get a bad bead. If you buy just a random tube of seed beads, you run the risk of them being different sizes throughout, which is also okay. Snowflakes are different sizes. But it's really handy just to tag on a seed bead instead of a French knot. Oh, this one's nice. $19.99. Isn't that sweet? What's that one called? A winter scene. I love how they matted that on the blue. What I like about the petites is that they're tiny. So usually you can buy the pre-cut mat boards. The big box craft stores have pre-cut mat boards. So usually you can find something that'll agree with what you're trying to frame when you're doing a little gold collection petite. Oh, this one's cute. Vintage Merry Christmas. I think some of these are probably very hard to get now. I tease my husband, he can probably sell this stuff off if I get hit by a bus and pay for my funeral expenses. Morbid. Believe in Santa. This is a Wow, there's no date on this one. Why? Why? 2019 stamped on the back. I'd love to see some of these done. I really want to get together with some people and see what they've done. It's fine seeing things on Zoom, but I really like to see things in person. It's just, I don't know, it's like appreciating artwork. That one's sweet. This one's Cliffside Beacon. I don't see a date. I don't know why. Maybe they stopped putting the dates on the front. 2013 on the back. This one is Scenic Lighthouse. Date on the back, 2010. Sorry for the glare, guys. I think I'm gonna have to work on my lighting. I do love these little kits. Oh, this one's sweet. This is a wolf. This is a 2013. I can imagine this one. Oh, the floss is separated. Well, there's motivation. I like that. Maybe I will get one of these out this weekend. Not like I don't have any other projects to do. And a 2002 butterfly triplex. That looks like it has some gold Krynic in there, or gold floss. That would be nice to do. I don't know. So many ideas, so many kits, so little time. I don't prefer kits. I do prefer getting a chart and tackling something that way. Sometimes if I get a free project, I will store them in these types of, I don't know what you call these, document sleeves. And you get these little binders to go over them. And then I can just label the edge. And I'll store those in an accordion file. I got a lot of comments that a lot of you use the pocket sleeves already. That's great. But what I want to ask you guys is when you're using the pocket sleeves and organizing them in binders, when you do a chart from one of your binders, do you put it in completed projects binder? Do you just put it back in the binder? Do you make any kind of notes on a memo? How do you feel like you're getting through your binder or your collection of stuff? Because I was thinking, I did make one completed projects binder. And those are really old. I mean, some of those are from the 80s and 90s. So I have to go through that and see if I'm really interested in keeping some of those charts still. But I think what my biggest fear has always been is if I lose a stitch or a stitch gets damaged and I want to do it again, then I have the chart and I know where to do it quick, where to find it quickly in a completed project binder. But maybe that doesn't make any sense. And then do you keep all your designers together or do you separate them by seasons, themes? I'm really at a loss of what to do. Like yesterday I went looking for one of my Charlie Harper cross stitches. I thought it would be a nautical because it's little sanderlings. I love Charlie Harper stuff. I did not find it in my nautical binder. So I thought, well, if I were a Charlie Harper, I'd be all together in the Charlie Harper binder. I didn't have anything marked Charlie Harper. Probably because I only have about 12 of his charts. So now I have to go through my binders and make sure they're all labeled properly as to contents. But I'm not really sure if that's the way to do it or not. I have to figure that out. And for storage, for fabric, let me take you on a little trip. Hello. I'm going to try to figure out how to turn this around. Maybe I can't when I'm recording. Okay, bear with me, don't get dizzy. You see those drawers? Where's my finger? Those drawers. I do have some fabric in there, so I'm thinking about labeling the outside. So far, one is devoted to Ada, one is devoted to linen, but I'm running out of space. And I do have things stored in plastic containers that fit under your bed. I have them stacked here underneath a recliner that I use up here. That's not working. So I'm considering folding them and maybe putting them in something similar to that basket. What do you guys do? It's not nice to have fabric in so many different places in my craft room, so I think I need to devote one area. I have a large china cabinet. How would you call it, a china cabinet? Pantry, two-piece cupboard. I don't know. So I'm thinking about stripping that down, and maybe having that just devoted to all the fabrics. But then you've got tubed fabric, you know, things that you've bought that already comes prepackaged. And you've got the stuff that's already maybe sealed in different ways of storing in different sizes, or do you take them out and fold them all to the same? And do I really need to get that fussy about it? Or do I just need to be happy with what I have? I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. Oh, and for preparing to go to the local needlework store tomorrow, what I'm gonna do is pull out some of my wanna-dos. I think I have one right over here. This is a Barbara Anna design, Mad Hatter Dreams. And what I'd like to do is pull out, we are all mad here, it says. I'm gonna pull out all of the listed DMCs so I can do some fabric shopping there, so I get the fabric that I would like to pair that up with. Because there's a couple of things in here that I think in the picture, you know, sometimes the picture doesn't really show the true color of what they called for cloth is. This is Granite Lugana. It sounds dark, it looks dark. I think it needs to be a little brighter. There's a caterpillar on her hat. I don't really see it on that color fabric, so I'm gonna do some matching. And then I'm gonna also make sure that I have all the threads that I need. I have my working container floss. Then I have a storage area of floss, my backups. And then I have what I call my church, which is the wooden DMC chest. And I will show you that in the next video. Stay tuned. Until then, have a great day, happy stitching, and be safe.